the recording. So hello fellow Toastmasters and guests. A very good afternoon to everyone and welcome to the 589th meeting of Medley Toastmasters Club. I am Abhimanyu and I am Sergeant at Arms for Medley Toastmasters Club. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member gets an opportunity to improve communication and leadership skills, which in turn boosts self-confidence and personal growth. And in every Toastmasters meeting, we follow 3 ground rules. Rule number 1, that is, please maintain silence throughout the meeting. And if you are not talking, put yourself on mute. And since it's an online meeting, kindly turn off the video when moving. Rule number 2, please avoid taboo topics such as sex, religion, and politics. Rule number 3, please do join the meeting in informal attire. With this, over to the presiding officer, Raghunath Nair. A small introduction about him. He is a very old member of Toastmasters and now working for Nissan. And with this, over to you, Toastmasters Raghunath.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhimanyu. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, very warm good afternoon. Welcome to the our meeting number 589 of our Toastmasters. Today we have an important meeting where we have the area directors visit. Please welcome Toastmaster Ramprasad, our area director for our meeting as an area director. Today, to take on the meeting and we have very senior Toastmasters who are experienced across the globe, like especially from Qatar and all. We have eminent Toastmaster Sundareshan sir, who will be taking us and guiding us through the whole meeting today. Toastmaster Sundareshan, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghunath. It's a pleasant day. It's very nice to see you all in Medley Toastmasters meeting by this afternoon. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. And I came to know area director is Toastmaster Ramprasad. Welcome, sir. As the theme of the day, when I was given this role, the TMOD, I selected just to share. And so let me declare in the beginning itself with the theme of the day. I'm not going to tell you to share your bank account or credit card number, anything. No illegal, nothing like that. In Toastmasters, we are straightforward people. I'm going to focus only on sharing our knowledge with others and how we are benefited and how others are benefited. So my theme today as a Toastmaster of the day is just share. So before that, for the sake of new members, for awareness sake, let me say the meeting proceeding goes with prepared speech session in the beginning, followed by table topic session, then evaluation session, at the end with the closing session with the internal matters of Medley discussed in that one. Coming to the theme of the day, just to share, certainly you all will agree one quote which is favorite to my heart. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Same way, knowledge also. The moment we think about knowledge sharing, the first, the name which comes in our mind is, the person is our school teachers. Yes, teachers play very important role in our life. First parents, then teachers. I do agree. So parents actually guide us and remind us all our roots. They teach us. They are sharing their knowledge. And teachers, they make our wings so strong so that we can fly here and there and achieve and make some accomplishments in our life. So sharing is always good. In my experience, I can tell you, it has helped me a lot. especially when I landed in Gulf, I was pretty new. I was not having much details about how to serve the survival tricks. Rather, the seniors from different nationalities shared their knowledge, and I gathered those knowledge from them, and it helped me to survive there. So in due course in the meeting, let me share the details of my team also just share. Before that, I'd like to ask only one thing. You all can raise your hand if you know this person one by one if I tell. Amitabh Bachchan. No need to mute also. Amitabh Bachchan. Ram Prasad, hope we all know Amitabh Bachchan, sir. That's great. Yeah. Rajinikanth. Rajinikanth, Ranga sir. Yeah, great. Including our Sampath sir. That's good. Madam Priyadharshini, Rajinikanth. Now I'll tell a name. You please say. A new Madam Toastmaster, Shruti also, you can switch on the video so that we can see you. Ramakant Achrekar. Could you please raise your hand if you know? Great. Toastmaster Thomas, Madam Priyadharshini, and Toastmaster Ranga. And Gopinath, I think you are raising half. So I take it as, okay, no, fine. Ramakant Achrekar. I want to say something with the theme. An ordinary person who loved cricket, but he guided a young boy. He shared his cricket knowledge with him, and our nation got a legendary cricket called Sachin Tendulkar. Ramakant Achrekar was the great coach of Sachin Tendulkar. So we all remember the players, heroes and heroines, no doubt. But in life, we have to remember those unsung heroes like coaches and our mentors also. We have to remember them. So when Achrekar was asked what service he has done, he said, no, I just shared my cricket knowledge with this young boy who had the spark. And see the result, fellow Toastmasters. Our nation was benefited and we got an excellent player. This is the benefit of sharing our knowledge with others. Coming to the introducing the tag player, next part of my module is introducing the tag team. This is my responsibility. Timer, gracefully, generously, our VP Education, the last minute impromptu, Toastmaster Raghu, could you please brief your role, timer role?
Yes. As a timer, I'll be looking into each of the timing, including the role players, project speakers, and the evaluators. For the project speakers time, especially since we have two different timing today. One is for the icebreaker and one is for the normal speech. For the icebreaker, it will be at 4 minutes, you will see the background of mine turning into green. At 5 minutes, you will see it as yellow, and 6 minutes, you will see it as red. And for each time, you will see, you will hear the sound of a bell. I hope you're able to hear it properly.
No, sir. No, sir, we can hear. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you will hear such a bell at each of these timings. For the project speakers, it is 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. For evaluators, it is 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and 3 minutes. You will see at 2 minutes, you will see a green. At 2.5 minutes, it is yellow, and 3 minutes, it is the red. And for the table topic session, you will see at 1 minute green, 1 minute 30 seconds amber, and 1 minute, 2 minutes it is red. And you still have a 30 seconds grace period after the red timing to finish up and close your speech. Over to you, dear Modis.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. Next, I request Toastmaster Surya to brief his Ask a Counter role. Toastmaster Surya, please. A Counter role.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Today, I'm taking up the role of a counter. As an a counter, my responsibility is to pay close attention to the verbal crutches such as but, so, you know, and so on and so forth, such crutch words. And I will also keep track of the short pauses and long pauses when the speakers are speaking in the stage. So for the benefit of guests, these are all crutch words which do not add value to the content, but rather it gives some time for the speaker to think on the stage and respond back. So today I request all the speakers, prepared speakers, table topic speakers and evaluators to avoid this type of crutch words maximum as much as possible, and please make sure that I don't have a job throughout this day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sophia. And next, I request Toastmaster Gopinath to brief the grammarian's role. Toastmaster Gopinath.
So good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Can you please raise your voice, Toastmaster Gopinath? You're not so audible.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
So as a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language and as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So let me share my screen. For today's thing, the word is frisson, which means a frisson is a short, sudden feeling of excitement or fear. So an example of the using the word is when you are at a party and your crush walks into the room and starts towards you to talk to you, the shiver of excitement and nerves you feel is an example of frisson. And the another example is as the music stopped, a frisson of excitement ran through the crowd. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Gopinath. Our good wishes for all the tag players today. So let's start the first session, prepared speech session. We do have 3 speakers. For the first speaker, Toastmaster Siva Radhakrishnan, I request the first evaluator, Madam Toastmaster Priyadarshini, to read the objectives. Madam Toastmaster Priyadarshini.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters. Today, Shiva Radhakrishnan is presenting his first ever speech. The objective of this speech is to begin speaking before the audience to discover the skills that you already have and skills that need attention. The time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. All the best to you, Shiva Radhakrishnan.
Okay, so before that, I need a clarity on this. So earlier in the agenda, my timing was mentioned as 6 to 7 minutes, but in the recent agenda, it has been changed to 4 to 6 minutes. But I have prepared my speech for 6.5 minutes actually. So just want to confirm the duration of the speech actually.
If it is 4 to 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's 4 to 6 minutes with 30 minutes grace period to end your speech.
Okay.
That's the
Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Toastmaster Priyadarshini, for the objectives. Good wishes to Toastmaster Shiva Radhakrishnan. We are happy to listen to your speech, sir, with speech title, My Search for Meaning. My Search for Meaning, Toastmaster Shiva Radhakrishnan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. Let me start my ice-breaking session with a quote from the famous coach Tony Robbins, which has literally shaped my life. Who am I today? And the quote goes this way: everything in life happens for a reason and purpose, and it serves me. I repeat, everything in life happens for a reason and purpose, and it serves me. So I have splitted my life journey into three parts. Initially the beginning of the journey, and then I'll move to the divine intervention, and later I will take you to the journey forward. So let me start with the journey. The year 1983 is quite significant for many reasons. Cricket lovers has their own reason, as Kapil Dev has lifted the coveted trophy for India for the first time. My parents have their own, as they got their first child in the form of me. Since I was the only child, I was extra pampered by my parents, and also at the same time spoiled to an extent. So I have enjoyed the extra pampering of my parents for 7 years until another member has joined my family in the form of my brother at 1980. From my childhood, I have been raised with one instruction, that is to be in the good books of my fellow relations and friends. And I have always strived to live with that tag of a good boy. But knowingly or unknowingly, I always had this question in my mind. And that question is, why is Shiva in this planet Earth? I repeat that, why is Shiva in this planet Earth? I still remember me sitting in front of the puja room, asking the question to God and praying with wet eyes. Okay, let's move forward in time and move to the year 2008. And this is the divine intervention in my life. By then, I have completed my graduation and was doing my postgraduate. I was also working as a system administrator in my native place, drawing a very meager salary. Oh, there comes the intervention of an angel in my life. She came with a determination to completely transform this boy who is in midst of negative mindset and very limited beliefs. She gave me a magic pill in the form of a movie named Secret. Having watched that movie more than 100 times in a span of 2 weeks, I have shifted from a space of limitation and negative thoughts to another space of unlimited, uh, unlimited expectation and positive thoughts. No wonder I have earned my place in the corporate world, even in the midst of the famous recession, which has completely dented the IT industry. The work of the angel didn't stop there. She literally dragged me to a 3-day training program. That was a life coaching training program named Self Awakening. And during the program, I had a chance to introspect my life journey of 25 years. The realization that I had in that training struck me so hard that I have decided to change every aspect of my life literally. And what could be the wise decision that one could take after having such an awakening in the age of 26? Guess what? Yes, I have decided to espouse that angel named Sindhu, and we have continued our journey until now in an amazing manner. Hang on, did I get answer to that question, which was lingering in my mind since my childhood? And that question is, why is Shiva in the planet? Stay with me, so that let me take forward in time to the present moment. Here comes 2020. Did I get the answer to that question? Yes. The answer is, I'm here to play the role of a life coach so that I can transform myself to be always in the better version of me, and also at the same time transform the life of other people so that they can live their life according to their true calling of the soul. And after having that realization, I was looking on a person who I can work with. And later I ended up with me, because I need to work on myself first. And that begins my journey as a life coach. I strongly believe that I have a unique gift within me, and I was looking for a platform to share that gift to the world. That's where I found Toastmasters, and I have finally landed up in Medley. I strongly believe that I could live up to my dream with the help of you, fellow Medlians. And I'm pretty much happy and excited for the journey forward. So there comes the end of the story, and let me conclude with another famous quote from Tony Robbins. It is in the moments of your decision that your destiny is being shaped. Thank you, fellow Toastmaster and guest, for your time, and over to you, TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Yeah. Next speaker is Toastmaster Ram Prasad. Before his speech, I like to request Toastmaster Venkateshan, who is the evaluator, to read the speech objectives. So, Toastmaster Venkateshan. Unmute, please. Sir Venkateshan, unmute. Mic unmute. Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, my talker speaker, Toastmaster Ram Prasad, is going to deliver in Pathways Innovative Learning Level 3, Elective 1, and the title of the speech is Dysfunctions of a Team. The purpose of the speech project is for the member to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance a speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate his understanding of how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into your speech. Timer, please note the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Ram Prasad.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan. Now let's hear the speech by Toastmaster Ram Prasad with speech title Dysfunction of a Team. Dysfunction of a Team, Toastmaster Ram Prasad.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me start my presentation. Give me a second. Hope you all see my screen.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. Timer, you can start the time now. It is not the finance. It is not the strategy. It is not the technology which makes the particular organization successful. There is a secret, special ingredient that needs for any organization to be successful. How many of you saw this sports? It is very famous in Kerala. What is very much important for the people to success, to reach the goal before everyone else?
Teamwork.
Is it
unity? Coordination.
Unity. Yes.
Coordination.
Great. That is the one thing which need. That is the coordination. They need to row the boat in a rhythm. So there is a rhythm if everyone else needs to follow. That is the teamwork. That is the coordination between everyone that makes the team successful. In real time, in our organization, do you think it is possible? If everyone is moving toward together, then success takes care of itself. It is by the famous automobile industry person Henry Ford has said. But in our organization, do you think it is possible? Is it sounds familiar to you with the team which you are worked on or now you are working on? Everyone are focusing on something else. They are moving toward their different goals in a different direction, the team. Why this is happening? Patrick Lencioni, who is the UK famous author, so he has worked with a lot of people, the CEOs and hundreds of teams. He found there is a 5 characteristics that every team needs to be following. Otherwise, there is anything wrong in this behavior that makes the team goes wrong. Those are from the bottom. It is same like the Maslow's hierarchy, personal needs of hierarchy. Absence of the trust. That is the first. That is one of, this is the 5 dysfunctions he has identified for the team. Absence of the trust is the first. Fear of conflict, lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, inattention to results. When a team overcomes all these dysfunctions, they become a successful team. The first, which is the basic, the unshakable brick, every team needs to make sure this is happening. I would like to recollect one of my previous experience when I had the interaction with my team lead in my previous organization. He said the developers are frequently fighting. It is an IT company, so the developers needs to develop some software and then it will be tested by the testers. When they are having the interaction with the testers, they end up with frequent quarrel. They end up with a lot of argument between them. This is because they don't believe each other, and also their unwillingness to accept their mistakes, and they don't want to get help from the other person. This is something which the base, when a team is trusting each other, they will be vulnerable to each other. So they will not argue with each other. They will agree their weaknesses. They will ensure they are vulnerable to each one. The base for building a team, a right team, is making the team vulnerable and removing this, encourage the team to have the trust. This is one famous quote. You never take the criticism from someone you didn't take advice from. The second one is the fear of conflict. How many meetings we have attended, you have attended, all the team members are in artificial harmony. They don't want to argue with each other. They just sit and they don't open up their mouth. It is very common, right? It is the role of the leader to encourage the conflict. That makes the team to work together. So they have already trusting each other. So bringing that healthy conflict is very much important. Encourage to have the healthy conflict. There is a relationship between there is the difference between personal attacks and having the artificial harmony. Have the ideal conflict point where you don't attack the people on their personal front and you don't share the points. There is an ideal conflict point where you argue and for the benefit of the company and the goal. The third is lack of commitment. To have a common commitment, you should definitely have everyone say in any point. You have to hear from everyone. If there is any disagreement, have the argument, have the result by the consensus and let the person agree to disagree, even if they are not want to do that. But they are agreed to the point since it is agreed as a whole, as a team. There is the fourth one, avoidance of accountability. This is something which we all know. If there is a hole in the other side of the boat, it is going to affect the whole team. The same way, if there is a whole set of goals has been set, it is everyone in the team's responsibility to ensure they are having the complete accountability when they have the trust and they don't have the fear to have the conflict, and they are committed, everyone are committed to a common goal, and everyone should ensure not only themselves, the others also doing that job. There is something called inattention to result. Everyone should focus on the common goal. There is sometimes we might end up with having the personal interest, the statuses, and ego will come into picture. It is the role of the leader to ensure they are having the collective ownership on the common goal. It is not the finance, it is not the strategy, it is the teamwork that remains the ultimate competitive advantage. Both, it is so powerful and it is so rare. It is the responsibility of the leader to ensure the team is focusing on the common goal. Over to you, Toastmaster Adri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram Prasad. Before going to the listening to third speaker, let me go back to the theme of the day, which I mentioned. Another of my favorite quote for my theme is just share. Gaining knowledge leads to wisdom, and sharing that knowledge is the first step to humanity. So sharing knowledge is an advantage for both the people who are giving and who is receiving also. When I asked my wife, who has worked as a nursery teacher, what is the first lesson you give to children in the nursery school? She said, the beginning itself, we will teach the children to share their crayons. So from there it starts. So teachers inculcate this good habit of sharing, or parents inculcate this good habit of sharing, and we have to share our knowledge in this Toastmasters platform. It is proven, the proven Toastmasters, ex-com and senior Toastmasters are sharing their knowledge, and we new Toastmasters are benefited by this. Let's move to the speech session back. The third speaker, Madam Toastmaster Shruti Prakash. Now I request DTM Sampath to read the objectives of the speech. It's icebreaker speech, sir.
Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Shruti Prakash in particular. Today, she is attempting the icebreaker speech. The purpose statement as given in the manual says, the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Good luck to the speaker and good listening to all of us. The title of the speech is My Paradoxical Life and Choices. Back to the team.
Thank you, DTM Sampath. Sorry, Rajan. Over to Madam Toastmaster Shruti Prakash with speech title My Paradoxical Life and Choices. Yes, start please.
What if, what and if. Am I audible?
Yes, Shruti.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, Shruti.
Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Madam Toastmaster Shruti, yes.
What if I started my speech. Okay, I started my speech with the word what. What if, what and if. Two simple monosyllabic words in more or less the opposite sides of the thesaurus. Separate, they're as normal as words can be. But together, they opened up a whole new Pandora's box of possibilities, dredged up old memories, and consequently, the choices that went with it. I am a firm believer of the old adage, you are the product of your choices. And here I am, ladies and gentlemen, Shruti Prakash, a product of my choices and sometimes a byproduct of others' choices. A classic example, my birth and my name. My mother tells me I made my grand entrance into this world 2 weeks past the due date. Now, this is substantial evidence as to why two punctual people, such as my parents, had a daughter who was almost always late. Proof? I was asked to furnish the title for my icebreaker speech 3 days back. I procrastinated. Yesterday, Raghunath sir asked me the same, and I replied to him, when I was 3, my dad asked me, what do you want to be? I said, an explorer, because Dora was an explorer. This is the million-dollar question. What do you want to become when you grow up? IAS featured in this. 1. 3 days prior to this event, a distant relative, an IAS officer, visited bearing gifts. 2. It was the easiest profession I could spell. Little did I know, I would eat my words. No, gobble them up. Now fast forward and crash land into my teenage years. Why crash land? Because 100% of all the choices that I made were on the fly, hit and miss kind of decisions. Just when I thought I had my life mapped out, reality and hormones gate crashed the party. This was my first lesson in life. Nothing is set in stone because ironically, change is the only constant. During my 10th board exams, I decided I would become a doctor, a gynecologist to be precise. A little quirk of mine was that choosing was the most agonizing part for me. But once I made up my mind, following it through was easy because my constant struggle with choices were mind-numbingly exhaustive. The crash course lesson that I got. Now with my mind made up, I set to achieving my dreams. I threw in a lot of money, blood, sweat, pain, joy, self-esteem into this. 2 years later, I cracked NEET. Though extremely proud of myself, unlike other med students, I wasn't ecstatic. 3 minutes prior to sealing my medical fate, I blurted no. My dad, bless him, simply smiled and took me home. My mom said, what? She didn't elaborate, but that one word spoke volumes. Now, what influenced me to say no? During my model practicals, I was asked to make a compound. A pre-existing compound, but a compound nonetheless. 30 seconds into the experiment, I had obtained the product. But by not sticking to the procedure, knowing my book enslaved teachers, I disposed the product straight into the dustbin. Out came the green plumes of smoke. At this moment, I realized that I did the right thing, but presented it in the wrong manner, namely the dustbin. Needless to say, I redid the whole experiment, this time playing by the book. When I narrated the whole sordid tale at home, my grandpa proclaimed another chemical engineer to add to my legacy. By legacy, I mean my grandpa and myself. This was the memory that kept playing like a broken recorder in game. Again, I blurted out chemical instead of CS, thanks to the recorder. Paradoxically, I was ecstatic because my lowest mark in the boards were reserved only for chemistry. 6 months into college, I concluded that I took idiocy to a whole new level because let's face it, people found their soulmates in the first 2 months of college, while I took 3 months just to find the administration building. During this period, I saw a majority of 2 kinds of people, the hardworking kind, the bluffing, or the marketing kind. The former had content but had lacked in presentation. The latter had presentation but was in dire need of content. I was 90% the first category and 10% the second. I vowed to myself that I would bridge the gap between my marketing skills and my work. I wasn't a bad speaker, but every time I took to the stage, forget butterflies, I had jungles residing in my stomach. My dream is that someday I would be able to tame the jungle to a garden. I, after all, owe it to myself to be the best possible version of myself. In pursuit of development, I joined Toastmasters. It was my choice, and I am liking the consequences so far. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my first step. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters in the Sundaresan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Yes, we are on time and we have few minutes. Let me take advantage of that one. If you see the history of the human race, actually our human race has survived and learned the survival skills by sharing their knowledge. Each generation have carried forwarded that knowledge. And can you tell me the philosophers, do you know how they have shared their knowledge as on today, which we are benefiting? The great men and philosophers, any one of you can reply me. One word. How they have, those philosophers and knowledge people have shared their knowledge with us?
It's through sharing.
Books. Yes, exactly. Books. They have written those treasure of chest. The treasure chest is called the books. And even though they are not there, their knowledge is helping us to overcome any problem. So sharing knowledge is always advantage. Having said that, in your mind, sir, you may ask Toastmaster Sundaresan what you have shared so far. In this platform, happily I like to share one information that for the past 16 years, what I have learned in this fraternity, I have taught to a group of Indian children, nearly 400 Indian children have become cavaliers, and a small contribution of my knowledge I have shared with them. This is again a very surprising thing. I just was sitting with them for 2 hours and sharing my knowledge. I didn't do, it's not a rocket science, but those 400 children are benefited in confidence level. So I requested all the 400 children today, when you grow up, become a Toastmaster and become a Gavel Club coordinator, and you share your knowledge with others. Let's make this planet a more pleasant place to live. Thanks for listening. My theme of the day, just share. Going back to the speech session, we are on time. The next session is very important session, especially for me, for all of us. Table topic session. There is an experienced Toastmaster in Medley to conduct this session, Toastmaster Rangarajan. He has given his intro in a very interesting way. Let me read his intro. The tidbits of information gathered over the years has helped me in many conversations with family, friends, and peers. In the process, I am also the recipient of information from them. Thank you, Toastmaster Ranga, for sharing your thoughts. Over to Table Topic Master Rangarajan.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table topics helps members practice the art of improvisation and also helps to think on our feet. This helps us develop 4 vital communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering. The topics prepared today will hopefully help all of us become better speakers and good at improvisation. With that, moving on to the first topic of the day, let me share my screen. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
My first question, my first question is to Gopinath. Mr. Gopinath, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the chances of Chennai Super Kings to win another title this year?
I think this year CSK will be going to lift the title because Dhoni announced his retirement, and he is only playing for the IPL. So since I am being a Mumbai Indians fan, but after seeing Dhoni's retirement, I want to see CSK lifting the cup this year for Dhoni, and the CSK team, like who are representing to the CSK team, they also loves to win all the games, and they will give the great gift to Dhoni by winning this season. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. That was a pretty interesting answer. My second question goes to Priyadarshini. Toastmaster Priyadarshini?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this question is for you. Forever 21 is a famous brand. But given a choice, would you like to remain Forever 21?
Is this a brand or a question? Forever 21.
Sorry?
Can you please repeat the question? Given a chance,
Yeah.
would you remain Forever 21?
Given a choice, would you like to remain Forever 21?
Okay. I would say no for this because I have crossed 21 and I know I'm much wiser than those days. I think as you grow, it is not the number which really matters or your outer appearance. It is how wiser and how deeper we see within ourselves. Even might be at the age of 18, some are very smart enough to understand the real world. But I feel it is the life experience and the various lessons that we assimilate as we grow. It makes you, forever 21. That is living your life to the fullest. When I see this age 21, it is where you have this bindas kind of attitude. Because you're not into any responsibilities and you are a free bird at that age. But the real meaning behind the freedom comes to you when you understand what exactly is the meaning of being free. So I believe it is better to age wisely and not stick to one stage or one phase of life, because every time you grow, it is a new shade of life to enjoy. So I don't want to get stuck in one phase. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I like that. So my third question is to Toastmaster Atishay. Atishay, you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm there.
Yeah. Here comes your question. So 1 week, your managing director has given you a free ride from October 1st to 7th. But the same week. How will you convince your manager to forego this? To forego your deliverables?
Free ride to what? Like free ride on the car?
No. You're giving this Ford Mustang
Yeah.
for 1 week, between October 1st to October 7th. But you have a deliverable on the same week.
Okay. Right. So I am not sure if I would need to convince my manager, right? And depending on the amount of effort required for that deliverable, I think I might be able to manage. And if I don't, so I am not really sure. I will probably just take as much time as possible. Whenever I need to think, I would hop onto my car, take it for a ride along the ECR near the coast, go to Pondicherry, look at all the beautiful houses there, the blue ocean on the left, and then I come back with some great ideas. I work on my deliverable, maybe do that if since it's work from home time, so I can work whenever I want to. So I spend the day driving around the city and spend the night working on my deliverable. Sacrifice sleep a bit, of course, but then it's worth it, I think, because you don't get to ride a Ford Mustang every other day, right? You can sleep for the rest of your life. You have 8 hours every day to sleep, but you don't have a week to ride your Ford Mustang. So yeah, that is what I will do. And I don't think I'll need to convince my manager to do anything special for this, but I'll be able to manage. I'll be able to find time to manage. Thank you.
Good. That was a sensible and a reasonable answer. Thank you. So my next question goes to Toastmaster Rohit. Rohit, you there? Rohit?
Yes, I am there. Sorry.
Yeah, here's your question. So give a synopsis of a comedy, either a movie or a serial that you saw recently. You got the question?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Okay, yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah. give a synopsis of a comedy movie or serial that you saw recently. All right. All right, sir. Okay, got it. Okay, a very good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and guests, and also to the TT Master. So, during this past 5 months, one serial I watched that is about 5 to 6 episodes. I think this is called, I think this is a very old serial. It is called Two and a Half Men. This is a series which I never followed, but I heard a lot of people talk about it. So I felt that I should have a go at it and at least watch a few episodes from the Netflix. It's quite interesting. I didn't watch it. This entire series, it is split between 3 seasons. So I haven't even managed to complete one season of it. Of the one season, I must have watched about 6 episodes. So I think from what I gathered, it is a very interesting series of 2 brothers and a kid, a 12-year-old kid, who this happened to be a father and son who moved into the father who moved into the brother's house because he got thrown out, and he also ran into some legal issues, and he had to seek refuge in his brother's house. That went on for about 6 weeks, and that's it. I don't know what happened beyond that. So I can only recall what I saw in the first 6 episodes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. My next question is for Toastmaster Pavitra. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, here comes. Can you see the screen?
Not yet. Yes.
Yeah. So Do is Severus Snape's patroness. So if you wanted a patroness, what would it be and why? I presume that you have read the Harry Potter series.
No, I've not watched Harry Potter. So if you could just tell me what's a patroness, and
It's just something that you conjure up, something that you conjure up to help somebody, or help people out of a situation that they are in.
Okay, that's
so
a patroness.
It's like a guide. Yeah.
All right.
A patroness is an image of yours that you project to other people to help them out of a situation or in a negative situation that they are in, to lead the way.
All right. Okay. So this, of what you had described about what is a patroness, an incident from my life comes to my head, which I could probably share.
Go ahead.
Where I saved one of my classmates, I would say. It's a very funny incident. So during my college days, right, after lunch, class hours are, one of the most difficult class hours to kind of attend, right? And this friend of mine who would specifically kind of bunk this physics class every time during my engineering days, right? Because she didn't like the professor that much, and he would always pinpoint at her and ask questions. And she had low attendance in that subject as well. And that afternoon, we had a very good meal. There was fried rice, there was Manchurian, and the food at the mess was good, surprisingly, which doesn't happen on, normal days. And we had taken we take our 10-15-minute power nap as well after our lunch on some of the days. And that day as well, we had taken that nap and we had overslept. The both of us, right? But she needed attendance, and she already had just about 69% attendance, whereas 75% is the cutoff for attendance for us to qualify for exams. So we then decided to play this act, to go into the class late, but then act like, she had fallen, she was dizzy and she had fallen down, and then I had to take her to the hospital, and that's why we were late to the class, right? So I think this incident kind of reminded me how I was probably, she said, you know, if you hadn't saved me that day, I wouldn't have even been able to write my physics exam. So this kind of reminded me of the word that you had probably mentioned, where we had projected ourselves in a different way to save ourselves from that particular sticky situation. Over to you, Ranga.
Thank you. Thank you. That was entertaining. My next question is to guest Muthukumari. Guest Muthukumari.
Can you hear me?
Hello. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Okay. Can you hear me? We can't hear you. Could you just speak up a little bit?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you better. I guess in your younger days you would have seen some cartoons. Have you seen cartoons?
Yeah.
Okay. Here comes your question. So these are three famous cartoons from Disney: Jungle Book or Lion King. You can choose to say one of them that you like, or any other cartoon that you would like to talk about.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'll talk about Frozen. So a little background about myself. I live with my twin sister. So me and my twin sister have been together like forever. I've recently finished my MBA, and even MBA we did together. So right from school through undergraduation and MBA, we've lived together. And even right now, during the lockdown, I'm locked up with my sister, so it's just me and my sister at home. So this movie Frozen is sort of close to me. Not like we resemble anything in that movie, but I just like the bonding that Anna and Elsa have with each other. And I'm a fan of Disney movies, so that's one movie that I like and I watch again and again. And my favorite character, any rate, from any cartoon would be Olaf. And the favorite dialogue from that movie are "Some people are worth melting for," because you really have those people in life that are worth melting for. And I think the way his childishness yet the maturity he has is something admirable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My next question is to DTM Sampath. May I fire off this question to you, Dr. Sauri?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Who, according to you, is a better bond? And your reason?
Can I start? Can I start?
Yes, please. You can see the screen. Who was the better bond, Daniel Craig or Pierre?
Okay. Good afternoon, table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. We always think the earlier ones are better because that is what creates the first impression, which happens to be a deeper impression quite often. It applies to many fields. So, in my case, and as I have checked with many of my colleagues and friends of my age, it is Sean Connery, neither of these two. Because Sean Connery had a style and a language that fitted his style. And this was in the earlier times of James Bond movies. So we were groomed by that, and we liked his style and everything. In fact, Roger Moore was the one who was supposed to have done it first, but due to some other reasons, Sean Connery started. Later on, Roger Moore came. He was also quite good, but nobody to beat Sean Connery. Particularly Sean Connery, I have seen his other movies, non-Bond movies. He is quite unique. And in Bond movies, he has got his own style. So I would rather go by the first impression, which made a very deep impression. Of course, I have seen many of these recent Bond movies also. I am a fan of Bond movies in general because it's one nice way of passing time, seeing some techno marvels and funny things, of course. And of course, there is another side to it which I do not mention here because of the tabooness of the topic. James Bond movies are also famous for those things, starting from the titles. So I will conclude by saying Sean Connery is my top favorite compared to any other James Bond who has ever been. Back to the table topic, Master.
Thank you very much, Doctor. My next question is to our guest Lakshmi Ramesh.
Hi, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon. And your topic comes up right now. Name one thing in life that should always be free. Meaning there shouldn't be any charge for this.
Okay. Freedom and I can say comfortable and the freedom, two things actually. So the thing actually, the comfortable means wherever we are actually, it is, we should have a freedom to do whatever the things we have to do in the office. So for example, if we take in the office, if we get the freedom to work, that is whatever ideas thinking what to be done, if we have comfortable, definitely we can do much more. So unnecessarily, even the unnecessarily, if somebody interferes your work, definitely you would not be able to deliver the things what you want to do. So that is where I used to talk with my manager. My manager is very friendly with me. So I used to tell her, I'm being very comfortable to you. I'm able to deliver. I can achieve whatever I want to do only because of you, because you are the one have been given the freedom and freedom to me. So and also appreciations whatever I do. She used to appreciate me for my work. So that gives me confidence to deliver the work on time and the percentage whatever I need to give. So which is very that is what I can say for the word free to be. Thank you, sir.
So much, guest Lakshmi Ramesh. My next question goes to the Zoom master, Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu,
Yeah.
you ready? Okay. Here comes your question. What makes someone a role model in real life? And do you have a role model?
Yeah, thanks, Ranga, and good afternoon, Toastmasters. And this is a very nice question. I actually kind of related to. So, what makes a role model in the real life? So, I would say my manager is my role model because the qualities in the qualities he has. For example, he has empathy and the way he's able to understand the problem you are going through. It's really, I know, I mean, I haven't seen this to anyone. And the way he kind of teach you things and persuade you to do some, good in life, it's really astonishing to me. So yeah, like the intuition and empathy is the thing. What makes a person a role model in real life? Over to you, Ranga.
My next question is to Toastmaster Venkatesan. Venkatesan, you there? Toastmaster Venkatesan?
Yes.
Could you unmute yourself? Okay, here's your question. Coming up on the screen right now. So what is your greatest source of happiness?
Thank you for the nice topic, table topic, Master. My greatest source of happiness is serving to the humanity, serving to the God. I believe that. I would like to share one small story. Day before yesterday, for the Makalaya Amavasai. My friend's mother passed away 4 years back. He told me that come with me down. We went together near T Nagar. That Sumasundaram street, there is one park is there, Nagesarao Park. He had more than 50 or 60 Saranvan lunch food. Meal food is there. We were distributing to each and everyone. To be honest, one 80 years old lady, she looks very puny, and I offered one food packet from my friend's basket and I gave it to her. She told me that in turn, there some 3 or 4 old persons are waiting there. They never got anything from today morning. I told my friend, according to me, you are not rich man. See her, even at this stage, at her age, she must be around 80 plus, and she's saying that give it to other person. This is these things we should learn, that whenever we have wealth and other things, we should share to others. Like just to share to others, those who need it for education's wedding and other things. Thank you for the nice master.
Thank you. My next question is to Toastmaster Ramesh Rajendran.
Yes, sir.
You there?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. Here we go. Just a second. Just getting my slide ready. Okay. Here's your question. Which of these 3 iconic structures have you visited or would like to visit first? The Eiffel Tower, the Golden Gate Bridge, or the Sydney Opera House?
So within this 3?
Yeah, within these 3.
Okay, sir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends. A very good afternoon to all. As per the topic, I would like to see Paris because it is known as the city of love. Come on, this world is running through love, and love, without love, nothing is. Because I like to see Paris because there is a certain atmosphere over there. If you go up to the Paris tower, you can see the whole world, whole city. I know some people who are frisian of heights, they may get scared to go even top of the Eiffel Tower. But to me, if you want to get in love, go to Paris. If you want to get in love with the city of the world, go on the top of Eiffel Tower. That's what. Over to your table topic, master.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a good one. Toastmaster Sampath? Toastmaster Sampath? Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. Selva is also Dr. Sampath, right? Okay. So let me, who else can I ask now? I think I've covered almost everyone. Okay. I'll ask this question. Okay, let me fire off this question to Toastmaster Thomas. DTM Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to shoot off this question to you. Can you share your emotions on the last day of college?
Last day of college? Terrible,
Yeah.
terrible. Because I was always in hostels. In hostels, you create relationships that are deep. And outside class, you form even greater relationship when you are young. Having to say bye-bye to all of that, whatever has been, built over years of interactions, and to quickly snap it wasn't easy. Remember, I'm talking about sometime in the 1970s, where you didn't have email, you didn't have mobile phones. You only said bye-bye meant with great chance you may meet somebody again in a train journey or something. There was no guarantee of ever meeting again. Again, I studied in a place far away from my hometown. So absolutely. And I didn't have even taken down in the addresses, because what are the chances of you going to meet someone traveling all the way? So it was truly ending the best part of one's life with great remorse and great reluctance, and never knowing. It was almost like leaving your city, rather leaving your country and migrating to some other place. It was that kind of, that there is a good future for you, but what you leave behind, the things that were dearest to you, the things that filled your 24 hours, to give that up and go. It was something like that. Thank you for reminding me of that bittersweet time, long time back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was emotional and heart-tugging, DT and Thomas. Do we have time for a couple of questions? Timer?
I think we are almost running close to the time.
One more question?
One more question, yes.
Toastmaster Karthikeyan raised his hand. Toastmaster Karthikeyan and Surya raised their hand, please.
Oh yeah, I didn't include their names because they. Okay, let me shoot off this question to Toastmaster Karthikeyan. This is about. Okay, let me share the screen. Toastmaster Karthikeyan.
Yeah, Raghu.
Yeah. See, the songs from all these three movies are major hits. I'm sure if you have heard them, it resonates anytime and every time. Among these three, which one would you choose as your best?
Yeah. Good evening, Toastmaster and everybody. Actually, I'm very happy to say that the Three Dog Trilogy is a fantastic movie. I watched it 10 years back. That is a very energetic person, Prashant and another guys. I don't know that person name. It is a very so many nice songs. Is taking the jewels and money to give take one place to another place. The police is traced out to how they are bent. Is a very fantastic movie. Trida. Me and my family, everyone go to the watching that movie from same movie. It's a very fantastic movie. And one more thing, I heard so many times watching that is a favorite song. Actually, that song name called Veeramana Ponnavile. I don't know correct name actually. It's a very excellent song. It's an energetic song. A.R. Rahman done by music. Over to you, Raghu. Thank you.
Thank you. The name of the song is Veerapandi Kottaiyile.
Yeah, correct. Obviously correct. Veerapandi Kottaiyile. Yeah.
Okay. With that, I come to the end of this table topic session. Thank you, everyone, for entertaining me with asking you these questions. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rangarajan. We had a nice time. Very interesting topics. Next, the most interesting session, the evaluation session. Fellow Toastmaster, trust me, this is a unique platform where you can see for every speaker, there is one Toastmaster called evaluator who gives you the feedback. Feedback is very important in our life. Here I remember one incident. Once when I was an area director, I had the chance to join the lunch with the world champion. As usual, I used to ask few questions. So I asked him, like in chatting, which one Toastmaster, sir, you like to say thanks in your life? I was expecting some great names, mentors, this thing, that thing. The whole table were very curious for his answer. To all our surprise, the world champion said, I like to thank that Toastmaster who did evaluation for my first icebreaker speech. His motivational speech encouraged me, and I gave my second speech in this platform, and I have come till this arena, till world champion. So we all can understand how evaluation is important, especially P1 speech evaluation is important. Really it gives motivate to evaluate to motivate, all these things we say. We had 3 speakers today, prepared speech session. For the first speaker, Toastmaster Siva Radhakrishnan, who gave his speech. Now I invite Madam Toastmaster Priyadarshini to give her evaluation speech. Madam Toastmaster Priyadarshini.
Before I start, I think after listening to the world champions' words as well as your words, I feel more nervous because the bigger responsibility is put on me because I'm the one who is also doing icebreaker evaluation. I'll try to do my best. Okay, it is said there are 2 days which calls for celebration in everyone's life. One day is the day you're born, and next is the day you realize why you're born on this earth. And my speaker, Shiva Radhakrishnan, had just one question throughout his speech. Why am I here? Good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and Shiva in particular. Shiva, what I liked in today's speech, first is the chronological order that you got. It started with your birth, the growth phase, and also where you stand today. Kapil Dev lifting the World Cup is the year you were born. The angelic lady was none other than the wife. And that self-awakening session which you attended turned out to be the true calling of your life. So very simply put, then whenever you talked, I saw you were very calm and composed. There was no sign of nervousness. And that's what I call the pacing for your very first speech was very nicely put in place. Then comes, you didn't just tell us what is the purpose of your life, you also made it clear as to what is the purpose of you joining and you taking this Toastmasters platform. So from start to end, it was very clearly told to the audience. Now, this is the part what we call as recommendation, and I would like to you to hear to this. First is, I wish you could have given few stories or some incidents which connected to the main message. This incident could have been as a supporting role. Now, what happens is searching for your soul. It is not everyone's cup of tea at this young age. What made you feel? Which instance of your life made you feel that you are not meant for this? You have a bigger purpose in life. Might be if you could have put that in a story or some simple words, the message or this story would have been much clearer to all of us because I was in search of something here and there. Next is please smile. It not just adds value to our face value, it increases our face value, also to our speech. And moreover, this was your icebreaker speech. It was all about you, your life. And I felt that smile on your face was missing. So overall, to sum up, I like the chronological order, the pacing, as well as the purpose. Everything was very clear. If you can bring simplicity in your story when the message is of something of higher calling, and if you add smile to this every speech of yours, you are ready to go for better speeches. With this, I would like to close by a quote saying, I too believe that we are the creator of our destiny and we have to be very conscious when we make any decisions. All the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Priyadarshini, for that excellent evaluation. Next evaluator is Toastmaster Venkatesan. An interesting person. When I, as a Toastmaster of the day, queried him what he feels about the theme of the day, just share. Sincerely, he has replied me, in our day-to-day life, we should share the joy and sorrow with our family members. Thank you, sir. For the second speaker, Toastmaster Ram Prasad, now I request the evaluator, Toastmaster Venkatesan, to give his evaluation speech. Toastmaster Venkatesan.
Thank you, T.M. Modi. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I remember one quote. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. My heartfelt applause to Ram Prasad to complete is level 3 in pathways. Level 3 and level 1. Especially my target speaker, Ram Prasad, you started with a book. Like you are not going to talk about finance or finance strategy or any other thing. You are not going to talk about the success also. You said you gave the importance of the teamwork and the coordination between the members, and then you explained about dysfunctions of a team, like 5 stages, like absence of trust, fear of conflict, lack of comfort, accountability, results. In our daily corporate life, we have a problem between the team. They fought and backstabbed with each other. You explained beautifully about in software industries what are all the things, dysfunctions of a team. But the project says that you should give the slides with more explanations instead of giving absence of interest. You are giving it in a single line. You can make it as a bigger picture in it, like presentation, and then you can give a solution also for that, how to create a successful team, and you can give the comparison at the end of the conclusion, how Dhoni is so successful and what all he is maintaining. Like you can say that he used to give a mutual respect to the team, establish an objective of a team and adaptation, and no finger pointing. Because 10 years back, I was attending a class where Dhoni was giving lecture about how to build a team in TVS in Osur. And he was talking about 10 points. Out of this, patience, delegate to the team members, and explain to the responsibility of the team members, like a bowler or batsman. Like that way, I was expecting from you more about the team members, like the developer, the tester, system administrator, like that. I'm looking forward more speeches. All the best, Toastmaster Ram Prasad. Thank you, TMOD.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan. Our next evaluator is DTM Sampath Saurirajan sir, my old friend. He regarding the theme just shared, I can tell you sincerely that whenever I disturb him with some silly questions or right questions, with lot of patience, he is guiding me in Chennai. So for the third speaker, Madam Toastmaster Shruti Prakash, now I invite DTM Sampath sir to give his evaluation speech. DTM Sampath sir.
Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, fellow
Sir,
Toastmasters.
we couldn't hear you, sir. We couldn't hear you.
Unmuted. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Audible. Yes. Okay, I am muted already. Okay. Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Shruti Prakash in particular. The word Shruti in Sanskrit means what is heard or what you hear. That is why the Vedas are called Shruti also. Today what we heard was a grand speech. Shruti's speech was self-introduction but done with such jolly pleasant manner. Even in the first speech, no sign of nervousness, and the good structure was also there, and many skills are there already. So I think the icebreaker purpose is quite easily achieved. Can you join me in giving her a round of applause? As is usually my style, I will say very little on what she said because she has already said it. I will talk more on how she said that. So the opening was a question, which is a common technique. A lot of people use it, but this question is the mother of all questions. What? So that certainly, though there was a little bit of technical interference, that certainly was a good way to start. And then it helped her to develop her speech nicely. The body of the speech is naturally chronological, sort of, because it is self-introduction, sort of autobio. And what she did in this chronological thing is slightly different. she didn't concentrate too much on the events. The more talk was on the pre and post thoughts and emotions and opinions of others. So it was slightly different instead of simply saying what happened, this event, that event, like this. The conclusion, of course, was a little bit tame in my opinion, because it was a couple of quotations or quotables. Okay, let it be there. What are the speaking skills I saw in her speech today? What is the color? Red, is it? Timer?
It's yellow.
Yellow, okay, it looks like red. Sorry, I wasted some seconds on this. So speaking skills are plenty. One is a very pleasant and jolly manner, which I said, and very good English, which comes as a very good asset to start with. Easy delivery, but a bit fast. I think you should slow down, madam, because most of the audience will miss some things which you are saying, interesting things you are saying. And use of dialogue already I found very well used. It's a great technique because it gives room for vocal variety. It's very attractive way of conducting a speech rather than making statements. All this shows that here is a great speaker on the anvil of Medley Toastmasters. So good luck to her and good luck to us. But I got one important suggestion for her. She made a lot of statements like nothing is certain, change is constant, right thing in the wrong way, best version of myself, a journey of 1,000 miles, blah, blah, blah. All great statements and quotes, no doubt. But when too many of them come, it's a bit tiring. Also, these things are very often heard, so people know them. So my suggestion to you is not to use too many of them. Make your own expressions, express yourself, be unique and in your own individual style. With that, congratulations to the speaker and back to the Toastmaster of the team.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Sampath sir. We had the prepared speech session and the evaluation session, table topic session. Now it's time for listening to the tag reports now. So now I will be requesting the three tag players, Timer, Accounter, and Grammarian to read their reports. To start with, Timer's report. Now I request Toastmaster Raghunath to give Timer's report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sundareshan. From a Timer's report, in the project speakers, except Ram Prasad, both Shiva, Radhakrishnan, and Shruti qualified. Ram Prasad has a total time, took a total time of 7 minutes, 52 seconds, which is an overshoot of close to 22 seconds. In the table topic speakers, Gopinath, Ramesh, Rajendran, and Karthikeyan stands disqualified because for a table topic, the minimum time that you need to speak is 1 minute. And hence, for all the other speakers, it was on time. From an evaluation perspective, Dr. Sampath took almost 4 minutes, 10 seconds, which was 40 seconds overshooting the set time of 3 minutes, 30 seconds. All the other evaluators got qualified. Over to you, dear Modi.
Thank you, Timer Toastmaster Raghunath. Next, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Surya to give his accounters report. Toastmaster Surya.
Yes, I'm just trying to share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
So this is my accounter report. I have categorized filler words, which is, as I said before, you know, but so and other things. Repetitions like the, I, some repetitions, and short pauses, which I made it as 3 seconds for a short pause, 5 seconds as more than 5 seconds as a long pause. And here you go with the report. Presiding officer, at the beginning it is 5 and PMOD 5+. Speakers, Shiva Krishnan 5 plus, and we had one repetition with this I have. Next is speaker 2 Ram Prasad, no filler words, one repetition and 4 short pauses. Shruti, no filler words, one repetition, and she had also had a small, an issue in her internet, so I could not able to pull I pulled as much as possible. TT speeches, I'll just show the report. You can have a look at it for another 30 seconds. Moving on to the evaluations, it is first evaluator Priyadarshini 5 kilowords, evaluator 2 Venkatesan 2 repetitions, 3 short passes and 1 long pass. Sampath Saurirajan sir, it is 1 filler word and 1 long pass, which is again was a discussion. He was asking the timer. So with this, I did a small analysis where I had presumed that on an average, it takes 0.55 seconds for a filler word and 0.90 second for a repetition, and short pause 3 seconds and long pause as 5 seconds. The total used crutches were 131, and the total time consumed today for crutch words is 114 seconds, which is somewhat close to 2 minutes. Imagine you are sitting and listening to him ask crutch words for continuously for 2 minutes. So, and which had bagged around 2% of our entire meeting's time, which is 2 hours 5 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya, for your detailed information. Next, I'd like to hear the grammarian's report from Toastmaster Gopinath. Toastmaster Gopinath, grammarian's report.
Thanks, sir. The grammarians are four, and I have captured some of the words and the famous word used. But I noticed no one used the word of the day, that is vision. So the quotes now the used are Sundaresan sir. He used a candle used nothing by lighting another, and Madam Priyadarshini used we are the creators of our own destiny, and Sir Venkatesan used coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is a success meaning. And Toastmaster Karthikeyan used it is a moment of decision that over decimates or change. So these are all the favorite quotes used by Toastmasters, and there are few words used by Toastmasters. And I was not sure if you have explained the word of the day. So that is vision. So no one used the word of the day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, grammarian. We expect, yeah, it's a nice word, frisson. Please correct that quote which I mentioned is a candle use nothing is not the correct sentence. It's actually a candle loses nothing. That's the meaning of sharing, the benefit of sharing. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Thank you, Toastmaster Gopinath. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes?
Sir, it's me, Ramesh, sir.
Yes, Toastmaster Ramesh.
Actually, I didn't mean to, I just wanted to know this. I have used the word vision.
Yeah, but being first time he has done Toastmaster Gopi
Oh, okay, okay.
has not
No,
noted.
just to give
Yeah, the
feedback.
word of the day. Yeah, a few Toastmasters really used it. It's a learning, it's a lesson learned.
Yeah,
From
it's a learning.
grammarian. You are supposed to note down the word of the day. How many people have used? Please.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
today's theme is just share. So I was just sharing my suggestion with you.
Absolutely great. Thank you. Yeah. Now it comes, the next session is general evaluation. You know, we have conducted the session from beginning to end, but we need the feedback for all of us that how we have conducted our session. How we have conducted our session. We have a seasoned Toastmaster and a guide in Medley Toastmasters Circle, our president, Toastmaster DTM Thomas is playing the role of general evaluator. He has replied me when I shared my theme gesture. He has given his opinion. I'll read it later. My mobile has gone inside to another room. When it comes, I'll say that one. Now, now I invite general evaluator DTM Thomas to give the detailed evaluation of today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, TMOD. Good afternoon, all dear Toastmasters and
Good
the
afternoon,
Lord
sir.
guest. Today again was another testimony to efficiency that Medley is now getting used to, which means we are now respecting the audience's time, which means that the timer being given the liberty to check everybody out is really working out. I'm very happy. All that I'm going to say now is not just for today. And what I'm going to say should be of some use to our future meetings. So kindly consider it in that respect. Point number one, a meeting is shaped not by the meeting time. It is shaped by the advanced efforts put in by people by the 10 minutes before the meeting when things have to get settled. Today, I'm sorry we started late because I'm sorry. One of the role players walked in late. We lost our record. And secondly, we had music, we had information in the slide, which is very welcome, which I thought was, a good filler to start with. Again, the 10 minutes before, I thought we did not utilize it well by doing a roll call, by calling up people, by the role players trying out their connectivity. This is the time to make sure, see, the meeting is like the stage in a physical meeting. Everything has to be impeccable. All the problems have to be sorted out before that. There, I think we are getting in a little late. We used to be ready by 2:45. I think we got to perk up once again. Then, one speaker had a doubt about his time. Meeting, I would recommend all of you to check that out with the VPE discreetly and not during the meeting. It's like asking on stage. Kindly consider this. Don't get me wrong. TT, my recommendation is first exhaust those guests and those who do not have any roles. It is torturous to sit for 2 hours and not get called for 2 minutes. I've gone through that, therefore I'm confessing to you. So kindly first finish all the people who have no role, neither speeches nor roles. But luckily we managed everybody. I hope we didn't miss out anybody. Today we had 3 speeches, which also means we lost 1 speech slot. In Medley, that's a little criminal because we have high pressure for speech roles. But that gave us the comfort of doing things very smoothly. We are on time. I must compliment the TMOD for that straight away, and all the role players for that matter, and the timer. I think that's working for us. Then, yeah, there was 1 time disqualification, which is unfortunate, which means we need to prepare better. But I'm so glad that both the icebreakers manage it within time. So I must compliment them as first timers. They realize the importance of time and they practice and they delivered good speeches. Then I would end with this. I'm very glad that people are increasingly using the supplementary power of visuals to communicate. There is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm glad you've done that. And I also realized that, yeah, and lastly, I want to end by saying that I am the GE, and XCOM can be impartial and objective because I play the role as a Toastmaster and not as an XCOM member. I hope I passed that test. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, General Evaluator DTM Thomas. It's a valuable lesson we have learned from you today. Going back to the theme which Wisdom of Thought DTM Thomas has shared with me, I like to share with you all with the theme just shared. Nature designed it for the butterfly to share the pollen for fruits to grow and rewarded with sips of honey. Share knowledge, help people to grow and derive that unique joy. Be part of that win-win. Thank you, sir, for these wonderful words. It's a nice thing. And moving ahead, the session, it's mentioned in agenda as surprise session, sir. I need guidance from you, President. Surprise session?
The surprise session will be by DTM Thomas Abraham. Let's call.
I didn't want to tire you with advance notice that it's going to be me. It's me. I would like to use, when we started off the surprise session, there were two objectives. One was to give some surprise, because why should everything be predictable? Second, one of the areas we wanted to improve is evaluation. Therefore, today, I'm planning to do an evaluation of evaluations. It's using a formula, making it again as objective as one can. An evaluation has two main objectives: motivate and help improve. At times, these two can be, at cross purposes. Secondly, there are two objectives, especially in pathways. One is the objective of the project. Second is the speech objective. The objective of the project, each of them very clearly spelled out in the beginning, so that we knew what are the rules by which the speech is being made, whether it's a one-day international or a test match. That's been done well. The third aspect is the improvements suggested should be implementable. And fourth, a couple of things that are avoided. One is no need to summarize the contents, because people have, if a doctor in fact emphasized that, saying that I'm not going to repeat it because you already heard it. Very valuable point there. And others have implemented it. Second thing is, this evaluation is not about the speaker or the evaluator. This is not time to eulogize the evaluator or tell my story with reference to this. I'm glad we didn't hear that anomaly here today. To take up each and only the gist of what I thought were interesting, Toastmaster Priya, she correctly said it was chronology. His structure is very important. It may be as boring as the X-ray, but that's fundamental. Then she complimented the speaker for that suspense of that girl and how he broke it. And I thought she also pointed out for a icebreaker, the calmness and the composure, which she thought was very, very good thing for a new speaker. Then she talked about the purpose as a central theme and complimented the speaker Shiva for being clear. And again, Shiva's icebreaker was not the usual story. I was born there, I was this, I was this. It had a psychological plane, which Priya very correctly emphasized. It takes more. And her two recommendations are valid for anybody. Bring up stories, bring up incidents to support your claim. Secondly, smile. Friends, these are universal. It's not just for Shiva, it's for all of us, including me, who is not able to smile often enough. Then Priya again, as she's ended with a quote, which is nice, which is like an icing on the cake, or which is like a nice dessert. Remember, each of this is a 3-minute speech. It should have an interesting beginning, there should be solid content, and a nice end. Each of them served that purpose, met that objective of being a mini speech. Toastmaster Venkatesan, he also had quotes to sweeten things out. In his case, I will only recommend eye contact is important. Even I am referring to notes, maybe refer to notes, then get back to the camera. This is again applicable for all of us, nothing to do with any particular role. But he was very correct in saying that more detailed explanation would have added more value. no doubt about it. At the same time, I do not think an evaluator should suggest what contents a speaker should carry based on his own experience. That's been difficult because I wouldn't have had your experience, so that becomes a little difficult. But the seriousness of purpose, the sincerity should be commended. Doctor, being doctor, started with Shruti, but did not talk about Shruti in that sense. But she talked about Shruti, the meaning and the essence. That is erudition. That is knowledge. That cannot be won just like that. So Rome is not built in a day. Wait for your time. Seriously, he complimented Shruti. At the end of it all, asked the speaker, did he feel inspired? Very much so. Shruti must have been, on cloud 9 or 11, I don't know. That's this. And again, he was matter of fact. He was matter of fact, talk about the skills that you have, and gave a suggestion, which I thought was brilliant. So what do we have? Here are lessons for all of us for all times, not for just Shiva, Shruti, and Ram. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Thomas. It was an excellent, I felt like not only a general evaluation, I have attended once Evaluate the Evaluator education module. So I felt like attending that workshop from you. Thank you, sir. Yes. As for the agenda, let's move ahead. It's called the closing session with a message for call of votes. VP Education can guide me. The qualified people, normally in our club, we vote for the qualified role players and qualified speakers. So I request VP Education to narrate on that one, the guidelines.
Yes, so we have the poll, the launch now. It is there in the Zoom meeting. So please do your voting so that we could select the best role players, best evaluators, and best act players based on the timing and the eligibility that the timer has announced. But what a wonderful session that we had. Like with the experience that you had, Toastmaster Sundareshan, and the experience that you shared about the various evaluation, the importance of evaluation, and how a role players and all that experience was a great session. It freshened me actually to go back to the various things that we had. Thank you so much for such an excellent meeting that we had today. Let's give him a big round of applause for such a wonderful session and evening that we had. So before we get into the details, again, I would like to call upon the guests for today. Guest Muthukumari, how do you find, tell me about yourself, how you came to know about Toastmasters and how you experienced the medley meeting today.
I got to know about Toastmasters because my mom is a Toastmaster for the past 4 years.
Can you be a little louder, ma'am?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
I got to know about Toastmasters because my mom is a Toastmaster. She lives in Dubai and she works in a school. So she's been the Toastmaster for around 4 years now. And I've been wanting to join Toastmasters for a really long time, but I finally got the chance in time now. So I'm from Chennai, but when I was just 3 months old, I moved to Dubai with my parents. I have a twin sister, and we finished our education completely in Dubai, my schooling. And then I only came back to Chennai to join undergraduation in College of Engineering, Guindy. So back then, even if you dropped me 2 streets away from my grandmom's house, I wouldn't know the way back home. But I guess currently I know about maybe 5 kilometers radius from my house. So I studied from hostel and I moved to Pune to complete my MBA from Symbiosis Institute. And right now I'm waiting to join my work. That's it about me. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. I hope you had good experience, though it is an offline. It's not an offline; it's more an online meeting. I hope you experienced the Toastmastership in which you must have done along with your mom in Dubai.
Yes, I'm loving it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Lakshmi, Gus Lakshmi, what is your view on today's meeting? You're there?
Lakshmi is our member now. She has come back.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, two things that I would like to say before we get to know who all are the best players. Tomorrow we have an interesting session. It is our club contest. The contest chair is Toastmaster Pranav. He must have already contacted you all for the various role players. It's going to be one-off events, and that's why we had a session where we were evaluating the evaluators, and a lot of inputs has come in from the experienced Toastmasters like Sundareshan or Toastmaster Thomas. And tomorrow we have the contest for the evaluation and also the humorous speech. And humorous speech is something which we might be missing in the normal project speakers, but that's a great experience that you will have, where almost 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 Toastmasters from Medley is going to participate in each of the session, and you will be seriously know how to have a humorous speech, enjoy the humorous speech in the Toastmaster fraternity or experience. The other point important is that to announce please share the details, the account details with our treasurer Sharanya for what we have passed on from the AGM last time, for returning back the amount of 700 rupees to the 48 Toastmasters that we had. And please share your details with Toastmaster Sharanya. And now to announce the results, let me start from the best table topic speaker. It's DTM Thomas Abraham, the best table topic speaker.
Thank you.
Today, the best role player among the roles is Toastmaster Ranga as a table topic master. And the best tag player goes to Toastmaster Surya for being the accounter today. The best evaluator is Toastmaster Priyadarshini. And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Shruti. So congratulations to all the winners. Give them a big round of applause. And that comes to the end of such a wonderful and informative session for today. With the imaginary gavel, I close meeting number 589 and open the forum for the general chat that we used to have and enjoy. Thank you. We can